Hello, in this video we will discuss about shortest remaining time first CPU scheduling algorithm. In this video we will see how SRTF shortest remaining time first scheduling algorithm works. In the previous video we have discussed about first come first serve CPU scheduling algorithm. In this video we will see using an example. We have four processes P0, P1, P2 and P3 and respectively we have arrival time of 0, 1, 2 and 3 units of time and the CPU burst time or execution time of every process respectively is 9 units of time for P0, 5 units of time for P1, 3 units of time for P2 and 4 units of time for P3 process. We'll see how we can calculate average waiting time and average turnaround time for this example. So let's start using Gantt chart of this example for these four processes and in the operating system we talk only about concurrent processes. So these are all concurrent processes and to manage them we use CPU scheduling algorithms. Okay, so let's start Gantt chart for shortest remaining time for CPU scheduling algorithm. So at time 0 process P0 is available in ready queue, so P0 will execute for the for the arrival time of next process. Okay, at time 1 it will execute from 0 to 1 and the burst time remaining is 8 units of time for P0. At the time 1 there are two processes P0 and P1 available in the queue and their respective CPU burst time or execution times are 8 units of time and 5 units of time. In this algorithm we'll see which is shortest among both of these. So 5 units of time is shortest, so our algorithm will allow P1 to execute. So P1 will execute now and at the arrival time 2 process P2 arrives, so it will execute for 1 unit of time from 1 to 2 and remaining is 4 unit of time and when arrival time is 2 then P0, P1 and P2, these three processes are in the queue. So we will find out the shortest 8, 4 and 3. Shortest is 3. So process P2 will execute now up to 3 arrival time and the remaining P2 time burst time is 2. Okay, and at the time 3 there are P0, P1, P2, P3, all the processes are available in the queue and we will check which is shortest. So here P2 is shortest among 8, 4, 2 and 4. So P2 process will execute again and will complete its execution and this is 2 units of time, so 3 plus 2 up to 5 units of time. Okay, process P2 is completed now. Now we'll check among P0, P1 and P3 process. Here we see that P1 and P3 have the same CPU burst time and we have to find the shortest. So when two CPU burst time are both of these shortest and same, then we use FCFS. So P1 has come first in the queue, so we'll execute this and it has 4 units of time remaining. We'll complete this and 5 plus 4 up to 9 units of time. Now among P0 and P3, so these both processes are available in the ready queue now, P0 and P3. So P3 is the shortest, it will execute P3 for 4 units of time, 9 plus 4 up to 13, and it will complete its execution, and at the last 8 units of time for P0. So 13 plus 8, 21. Okay, so we can say here process P0 has completed its execution at the last. The second last process is P3 that completed its execution at start. P2 process has completed its execution. So like this kind of questions also can be asked, and we have to find the waiting time and turnaround time of each process. So we can use formula now for finding out turnaround time of any process. Can be find out as completion time minus arrival time of that process, and the waiting time can be calculated as turnaround time minus burst time of that process. So turnaround time for process P0 can be calculated as completion time of P0. So 21 minus arrival time 0, and waiting time for P0 can be calculated as turnaround time 21 minus burst time, that is 9. Okay, now turnaround time for process P1. So completion time of P1 is 9 minus arrival time 1, and waiting time for P1. So turnaround time minus burst time 5. Now turnaround time for P2. So completion time of P2 is 5 minus arrival time 2, and waiting time for P2 turnaround time 3. Now turnaround time for P3. Completion time of P3 is 13 minus arrival time 3, and waiting time so we can calculate the average turnaround time as 21 plus 8 plus 3 and plus 10 divided by 4, because there are 4 processes. So the total is 1 So the average turnaround time is 10.5 and average waiting time is 12 plus 3 plus 0 and plus 6 divided by 4 because there are 4 processes. So 5.2 units of time. So using this way we can calculate the average turnaround time, average waiting time or turnaround time for each and every process and waiting time for each and every process for the shortest remaining time first CPU scheduling algorithm. Okay, in the next video we'll discuss about other CPU scheduling algorithms. If you like, share and subscribe. Thank you.